in today's tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to draft a basic bodice pattern. So if you're new to pattern drafting, how to draft the basic bodice is the first thing you should know. So this is what you are interested in learning. Please stay back as I show you through the process step by step. So this is the measurement we are going to be working with. The shoulder measurements, full length, bust point, waist, and the armhole. This is what you basically need to draft a basic body. So you'll also be needing your marker, your tape rule, your scissors, your ruler, and your armhole curve. I don't have an armhole curve, so I'm using this to improvise. I'll be using 2 pattern paper here to draft because one is for the front and one is for the back. So let's get started. So we're going to be taking the shoulder length. This is how you're going to put your tape across the pattern paper. To take your shoulder, you're dividing your shoulder. Your shoulder is 14. You're dividing your shoulder into 2, which is 7. And then your armhole is 16. If you divide it by 2, it will give you 8. So from there, from this line, you are going to use your ruler to draw a straight line like this. And then you put it this way. And then you use your armhole curve to make a curve like this. Sorry, this is not an actual armhole curve. So after that, you're going to your bust point. Sorry, I didn't put that, but the bust point for this particular person is 9.5, and then the waist waistline is 16. So after marking it, you're going to draw a straight line through so that you don't get confused. Draw a straight line so that you don't get confused. So we are going to be writing it out. So this is the bust, this is the waist, yes, and then you are going to be your neck width. We're using 3 inches for this when you open it up. So remember, this is, assume this is on fold, so this is going to be 3, and then the depth will also be 3 inches. You're going to draw a straight line to meet. You draw your line like this. For this tutorial, we're going to be using the round leg. So you put the curve like this and draw your. Having a curve as a beginner is very important, so that will give you that accurate step. Then you are going to be slashing. For your shoulder slope, we are going to be using half an inch for your shoulder slope. Then from the neck width, you put your ruler and meet where you marked your half an inch. Do you understand? From your neck width, where your neck width is ending, you're going to put your ruler slanting like this to touch where you marked for your shoulder slope. So after that, we are going to be taking the dart. That is very important to give your body that fitting. I'm going to put in the bust part. That is from one point of the bust to the other point of the bust. So for this person, it's 7 inches. You're going to divide it by 2. So this will give you 3.5. So you put the 3.5 like this on the bust, and then you put it on the waist. 3.5. Then you draw a line to meet the point. You draw the line to meet the point. So after doing that, for the front bodice, the dart is not supposed to be on the bust. So you're going to, from the bust point, you're going to be going down by 1.5 inch. So this is where your dart is going to be stopping. After doing that, just like this on this demarcated line, you're going to take out quarter of an inch here, and then quarter of an inch on the other side of the demarcation, and then you're going to, from this place where the dart is going to stop, you're going to put your ruler like this, just the way I'm putting it, and then you're going to draw it down. And then you do it on the other side too. Make sure you put your ruler, sorry, make sure it comes down to where you marked, so that there will be no mistake. So this is your dart. Forgive me for this error. So I'm going to just draw something on it. This is the original line. Then after that, we're going to be taking the bust measurement. We're going to put it on this pattern. So the bust measurement is 30. You're going to be dividing your tape like this. 30 divided by 4. You divide it like this. So we have 7.5. You are going to put it on the bust measurement. So for beginners, I would advise that your allowance, for every outfit you have to put allowance, so that you can sew and it will be left for you to adjust later on if there's any problem. So as beginners, I advise you use 2 inches for your sewing allowance. Then for the waist is 25 divided by 4. 25 divided by 4, and this is what you have. You're going to put it on like this, and you're going to mark 2 inches, and then you're going to measure this start point, what you took out. You're going to put it back. So you took out 1.5 inch, so you're going to put that 1.5 inch back. So you're shifting what you have here to the other side, so that the bodies can stay perfectly. So after that, you're going to join the lines together from where you marked your under your armhole. You're going to mark it down like this, and then you have your bodies. So now we are going to be cutting the front. So this is how you're going to cut it. First, you're going to cut out that. Make sure it stops at that place you marked. Cut it like this, and then you take it out, and then you cut from this side. Cut on the line or outside the line, but don't cut inside the line. If not, you're going to be taking out the allowance you had already. You're going to be cutting it. You're going to cut out your shoulder slope. This is to give it that fitting, so that it will not be falling. That's the essence of your shoulder slope. Then you cut out your neck line. So this is our front bodice looking all pretty. If you're going to put this on your fabric, you're going to fold it into 2. Since I'm drafting the pattern, that is why it is just 1 piece. But if you are cutting on your original fabric, you fold it into 2, and then you place this at the center of the dark crease line on your fabric. This is how you're going to place it, and you're going to cut out your front bodice. So now we're going to be moving to the back bodice. So now we are going to be cutting the back bodies. There's not much difference between the front and the back. There are just few changes. So for the back, we are going to be taking, before we start marking out our lines, we're taking out the zipper allowance. So you know at the back you need a zip. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to be using 1 inch for the zipper allowance. You're going to be marking it like this. This is because the pattern paper is quite small. So we're just going to be using 1 inch, but to be on the safer side, you use 2 inches as a beginner. So you are going to join these lines together. So now that we've drawn out the zipper allowance for the back bodice, every line you are drawing, you are starting after this line. So for the shoulder, we said our shoulder is 14 divided by 2, which is 7. So you are going to put your tape immediately after this line, and then you are going to mark your 7. And then for the armhole, which we said is 16, that is 8. You're going to mark it, and then just like we did for the front, you're going to join the 2 lines together like this. Like this. You're going to join it, and then you're going to use I'm using this one in place of an armhole curve, but you should use an armhole curve. So you're going to curve it like this, and then you have your armhole. Then just like the front, we are still going to slant it half an inch. For the neck, here we are still going to be using the neck width. We are still going to be using 3 inches for the neck width, but for the back here, the neck is higher, so we are just going to be using 1.5 for the neck depth. While for the front we use 3 inches. For the back we are using 1.5 because it is a high neck. And then you're just going to draw your line like this. After which you're going to draw it's still a round neck, and then your shoulder slope, which I said is half an inch. You place your ruler like this, and then you draw it down to meet that line there. So we're now going to take our bust point, which is 9.5, our waist, which is 16. We are going to draw the line. It's just basically almost the same thing, just some slight difference between the back and the front. So now it is the dart. For the front, you remember we came down from the bust point 1.5 so that the dart does not sit on the bust. But for the back, we are not going to do that. We are going to start our dart from the bust immediately on the bust. So just like we did, we are going to be taking our bust pan, we are putting it here, which is 3.5, and then we are going to be drawing the line to demarcate the 2 space, and then we are going to be using for the back we're just going to be using half an inch. You know, for the front we use 1/4 inch so that the bust can sit very well, but there's no bust at the back, so we are just going to be using half an inch on one side of the of the line and the other side of the line. And then from that bust point, we're just going to draw it down like this. You put your ruler like this. Make sure you use your ruler as a beginner. You're just going to put it like this, and then you put it like this, and then you have your dart. And after that, you just input your measurements, just like we measured. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. 25 divided by 4 is 6.2. And then we have our allowance here, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Then we took out 1 inch for this dart. We are going to place it back here, and then we are going to join from the armhole. We are going to join the line like this, and now we have our back pattern. So the difference I told you is that you are not coming down by 1.5 inch for the back for your dart, and then you are putting 1 inch. This is because I'm using a pattern paper that is too small, but if your this thing is much, you use 2 inch to be safe for the zipper allowance. And now we are going to cut. I told you, remember to cut on the line you made to be on the safer side so that you don't cut out your allowance, and then you cut it out like this. Don't forget, don't cut this. This is where you're going to be sewing your zip. So guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. So this is the back bodice with the zipper allowance, and this is the front bodice with no zipper allowance. So I hope you learned something new and it was useful. If there is any miscommunication, please drop a comment down below and let me know what you don't understand about today's tutorial. And if this video was helpful to you, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos to people who want to learn how to draft basic bodice pattern. Until next time, bye.